Hey, what's up, everybody? Ralph here. So I came across this article in Business Insider, and it seems that Senator Elizabeth Warren, she's a little concerned come May 1st when student loans restart, that millions of borrowers are not going to have the proper information, or they're not going to know when, when their due dates are going to occur. So she's a little concerned that, a lot of people are just not informed or not getting enough information on when, or they're not going to be prepared for when, payments start. So, let's read this article and see what she has to say. All right, so it says Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is worried that 43 million federal student loan borrowers don't have the information they need to resume payments in just over 2 months. On Wednesday, Warren, along with Rep. Lauren Underwood of Illinois and Colin Alford of Texas, led 5 of their Democratic colleagues in sending a letter to Education Secretary Miguel Cardona regarding the student loan payment restart date on May 1st. They wrote that they are concerned with the lack of clarity surrounding the timeline to resume payments, saying that millions of borrowers appear to be at risk of missing out on vital information about their payment restart. Now, the lawmakers wrote in a letter that borrowers need timely and detailed information regarding their loan payments. Specifically, they want to know the first date payments will be due, and if that date will be the same for every borrower, along with information surrounding defaulting on payments and the first date missing a payment with reflect on a borrower's credit score. Now, I think that's important because obviously come May 1st, I mean, there's millions of borrowers, so you want to at least get, I'm sure they'll get a letter letting them know that, all right, this bill is due, at such and such date. They're not gonna just be like, hey, pay this. And hopefully they inform them, they give them enough time to understand that, all right, this is, payments are gonna start at a certain date so at least people can prepare. In terms of being prepared for the payments, I mean, I hope people are prepared. I mean, I hope they had the information because they know, May 1st, I mean, I think a lot of people knew that come May 1st, it's gonna restart. So I don't think it's a lack of knowing when payments are gonna start. I think it's just you want to get the details and like, okay, when is that first payment due for a lot of people and how they're gonna work that out. And I think that's important because you want to make sure, is it gonna be the same due date for everyone, or is everyone to get, different pay due dates? So, trying to figure that out is kind of important. And I'm pretty sure I would expect that people are gonna get at least some type of notice so they know payments are gonna start. All right. So providing this detail is critical to ensure that borrowers are adequately informed about the restart and the borrower harm is minimized during the transition. They gave the Education Department until March 9th to respond to their inquiries. President Joe Biden extended a pause on student loan payments a third time through May 1st, marking a continuing of pandemic relief measures for federal borrowers burdened by the $1.7 trillion student debt crisis. But as the restart date is quickly approaching, lawmakers like Warren not only want to ensure borrowers are equipped to foot another monthly bill, they want Biden to fulfill the campaign pledge and student canceled debt broadly. It's not going to happen. And Elizabeth Warren knows this. She's just talking because she knows it's not going to happen. If it hasn't happened now, it's not going to happen come May 1st. Now, you might get another extension, but they're not getting rid of this. It's just not going to happen. So when she comes talking about, are they equipped to foot another bill? Like they said, I think they said about 93% of people aren't ready to make payments on their student loan debt. She knows this, so the fact that she keeps harping on this, canceling student debt is not going to happen. So she needs to prepare people that, payment's gonna come, make sure you're ready and stop saying, oh, cancel student debt, because it's not gonna happen. She knows this. So Insider report in January that according to the Government Accountability Office, 50% of federal student loan borrowers were identified as at risk of falling behind on payments in May. The Education Department even acknowledged that GAO that it will be a challenge to motivate student loan. So acknowledge that the GAO that it will be a challenge to motivate student loan borrowers to pay off their debt after a 2-year pause. And it said that it will address the challenge of increasing communication and outreach. Well, I mean, what do you expect when you've conditioned people to not make payments on a debt? Then you're going to tell them, all right, you got to come back and make these payments. What do you expect people to do? You've conditioned them to say, I'm not making any payments, so I'm used to that. They're conditioned. They're just used to not making payments. It's like if someone went to a gym and then took a 2-year pause on going to the gym and then say, I need to get back on it. It's just like, it's going to be tough to get motivated again unless you go back on that scale and like, damn, okay, I need to lose weight. Let me get back in the gym. Well, come May 1st, when you get that bill, you got to make payments on that. So I'm not sure what you expect when you give a 2-year pause on debt and then 2 years later, you're like, all right, you got to pay this debt again. I mean, obviously a lot of people are going to be shocked by it. They're going to be like, all right, I don't know how to handle this. But you know what? There are a lot of jobs available. So if you got to get a second job, that's what you might have to do. I know there's so many jobs, there's so much jobs available. You can do it, but like she said, you've conditioned people to not make payments on the debt. What do you expect? So still, Warren and her colleagues believe that outreach isn't enough. And as the payment resumption approaches, many borrowers are worried about the financial ability to pay off their debt. For example, the Student Debt Crisis Center found in a new survey that 93% of student loan borrowers aren't prepared to resume payments, and 61% of borrowers who could easily afford payments prior to the pandemic are now struggling. And that's an issue. I mean, obviously, you have inflation, so a lot of people, the value of your dollar is decreasing. You can buy less of other stuff, so it's gonna be tough. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I feel sorry for the people out there. It's gonna be tough, and with so much going on, higher prices. Even though people have got increased wages, but it's tough with inflation outpacing the wage increase. So. Come May 1st, I think a lot of people are going to be in trouble. Like you said, 93% of people aren't prepared to resume payments. But like I said, unless they say they're going to cancel it, which I doubt is going to happen, they're going to have to get used to that. So it's going to be interesting to see come May 1st what's going to happen. So our findings show that ongoing pandemic combined with unprecedented inflation are huge obstacles for borrowers who are by and large not ready to resume payments, struggling to afford basic needs and confused about their options moving forward. Natalia Abrams, president and founder of SDCC, said. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, so now, and that's the thing, like and my thing is this, like it's been 2 years. So the smart thing would be for those that owe this debt. I mean, in 2 years, you haven't made payments. It makes sense to at least put yourself in position to reduce all your debts, whatever other debts you got, whether it's credit card or whatever you have to make, or, increase your skills to get a high paying job or get another job. It's been 2 years since you haven't had made payments. So the question is like, what have you been doing to prepare yourself? Because eventually, obviously, you're going to have to make payments again. So hopefully a lot of people, it doesn't seem like that many people have, but you've been reducing down your debt so you can at least afford to make payments on this debt. So, I mean, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be a lot of people struggling, obviously, with inflation and the fact that, there are jobs available. So, I mean, if you need to get a second job or a job, period, then you gotta do what you need to do and make sure you make payments, because federal government loans aren't easy to get rid of. Those things follow you till you die. That's not something you just file for bankruptcy. They're going to get their money regardless, whether they hit your checking account or, whatever means way they got to get the money. So I think it's important to try to come up with a plan. I mean, because they're not getting rid of this debt unless they cancel it. They may extend it another 3 months, 6 months or whatever, but that debt is going to be there. So you got to come up with a plan to figure out how you're going to make payments on that. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you got any comments or questions, make sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and do not forget to subscribe, all right? So you guys take care and have a good one. Later.